I see what ho, chaps and chappets, game chap and Bertie here.
Yes.
Yes, indeed, fellows, and I dare say we are now discussing here the top 10 most unlikely characters for the Super Smash Bros. Character ballot, if you will, that is to say, the upcoming DLC fighters.
Most certainly, yes indeed. So these are the most, or the least likely.
The most unlikely,
yes. As you may know, they've got a ballot there going that people can put all the names of the different characters they'd like to see as a character or a player in Super Smash Bros. Wii U.
That's right. Now, please note here, on this list, all these characters are perhaps possible in some way, yet extremely unlikely. So we're not going to say, you know, a roll of toilet paper or something daft like that.
No, but top 10.
In at number 10 then, we have the loyal assistant to Princess Peach being, of course, Toad.
Right, okay, so Toad. Now, why is Toad very unlikely to appear?
Well, I think the main reason why Toad is so unlikely is that he is already part of Princess Peach's moveset.
Well, it's true, but, I mean, I can see Toad playing.
So
I can see him playing. I don't know what he's going to hit people with, but certainly anything, I suppose.
Well,
he carries all the things, after all.
He has all the items. He could use different items from the Super Mario series to power himself up between attacks, and perhaps use vegetables to throw at people. But then, of course, Princess Peach already has vegetables, and indeed, although we've seen Toad in Mario Kart, Mario Party, even Mario Tennis and other games like that, perhaps he's just not cut out to be a fighter, old boy.
Well, it could be. So there we are. Toadie, least likely, we think.
Well, the number 10 least likely.
Number 10 least likely, but the thing is, you see, maybe people want him in.
Well, indeed, we say number 10 because there's perhaps a glimmer of hope for him, I think, in some way, but it's still very unlikely.
Well, possibly.
In at number 9, from the Dead or Alive series, we have Kasumi.
We think Kasumi for number 9.
Yes.
Now the thing is, do we have any Dead or Alive characters in? We don't, do we?
We don't, of course. Now,
No.
the reason why Kasumi is number 9, and not even less likely than that, is because, of course, the Dead or Alive Chaps Team Ninja actually, I believe Techno Koi, actually recently worked with Nintendo on Hyrule Warriors, did they not?
They did indeed, yes.
And we also had Dead or Alive Dimensions on the Nintendo 3DS. But the question I'd ask with Kasumi is she just too attractive as Smash Bros. Old chap, really?
Well, I don't know, because you've got, I don't know.
Zero Suit Samus, I suppose.
Zero Suit Samus is in there, I suppose. Luigi?
Jigglypuff?
Yes. No,
Jigglypuff. And Wario's in there.
Wario's there.
I mean, all these very attractive characters, Venios. Not male ones, just the female ones. But anyway, Kasumi, what do you think, Venios? Would she make it in the game or not? I'd say there's perhaps an outlying chance she might do, maybe in one of her less revealing costumes, shall we say.
Maybe.
But she's still jolly unlikely. So, in at number 8, then, we have the purple chap. Do you know who I mean, old boy?
I know who you mean.
The purple fellow.
Yes, we think number 8 least likely, Waluigi.
Waluigi. Exactly. And now, of course, Waluigi has previously appeared in Mario Tennis, Mario Kart, and what have you.
I'm not gonna do it.
Exactly, and he's also appeared in other, shall we say, more violent games like Super Mario Strikers.
He has.
Can fight, I think, and he could fight quite well. But he's already an assist trophy, isn't he?
Well, yes, he's an assist trophy. That's true, of course, and we've also got already got his friend in.
Wario.
Wario, of course.
Exactly.
Wario and his friend. So, we think perhaps quite unlikely that we'll be seeing Waluigi in the game.
Sadly for Waluigi fans, I don't think he's very likely because, of course, as we said, he's already an assist trophy. They did remove Little Mac's assist trophy in Smash Bros. 4. He was an assist trophy in Brawl, but not anymore because, of course, he's a fighter now.
Well,
so if they brought out Waluigi, they'd have to take him out as an assist trophy, I suppose.
Well, they would. So, moving on then to number 7.
Who is number 7?
Number 7, who we think, Crash Bandicoot.
Who?
Crash Bandicoot.
Who's that? Let me see if I can cast my mind back 10,000 years. Oh,
you
him.
know the one.
Right, that sort of, that Foxy type thing. The one that looks like Foxy, old chap.
Well, of course,
I don't know. Now, Crash Bandicoot, for Hales, is of course a hero of days gone past on the PlayStation platform.
Yes.
So, I mean, although I suppose he'd be quite a good fit for Smash Brothers, actually, old boy. And I know many people have voted for him, but unfortunately, I have to say he's got about as much chance of getting in Super Smash Brothers as an old teapot has, and that's not very much chance, you know.
Well, not very much chance. Yes, indeed, people have voted for Crash Bandicoot.
They have.
Of course, they're making this new game now, aren't they? Which is sort of based around this character.
No, I think you're getting that confused with Ukulele, old boy. But
Ukulele,
similar enough, I suppose.
Well, I thought they had some. Am I getting that confused with another game?
I'm not sure, but certainly, for the time being, we can say Crash Bandicoot remains in the history books. We don't know perhaps whether or not he'll make a resurgence at some point, but certainly Super Smash Bros. Is probably one place he won't be appearing anytime soon.
Indeed, yes indeed, we don't think so. He's number 7, so number 6.
Number 6 is another girl, believe it or not. This lady is known as Lara Croft.
Lara Croft. Croft, yes indeed. Now, wouldn't it be interesting to see Lara Croft in Super Smash Bros. Wii U?
I have to say it would be quite interesting. I think perhaps she's not quite as revealing in her dress as Kasumi, and also her moveset would be quite unique, I think, old chap.
Well, she's got a guns, isn't she, to shoot and maybe a bow
steady on.
And things?
You see, Mr. Sakurai has previously said in the past that no realistic handguns are allowed in Super Smash Bros. That's why Snake used his grenades and his C4. But as you said there, perhaps Lara could use her bow and arrow, that's right, and various other tools of the trade that she uses.
She could do. It's an interesting character, actually, Lara Croft.
She is.
I think it sort of fits in with Super Smash Bros.
That's right.
Well, she does, but we think perhaps it's unlikely.
Unlikely. There is a small glimmer once again for her, because I believe in about 2008 there was a Lara Croft game on the Nintendo Wii. So it's not at all like she hasn't ever been on a Nintendo platform, but I think in Super Smash Bros. It would be a lot of promotion for the Lara Croft brand and perhaps a PlayStation, so I'm not entirely sure whether Nintendo would like that or not.
Certainly. So moving on then to number 5 on the list of least likely characters to appear.
So number 5, we're getting quite unlikely now indeed, old chap.
Quite unlikely.
So who is this next contender?
Yes, just so you know, the nearer we get to 1, the more unlikely we think.
That's right.
So now this contender is, of course, from Halo, the man himself, Master Chief.
Master Chief.
Master
That's right.
Chief. Will we see, or could we see Master Chief in the game? We think not.
I don't think Samus would like that very much, old chap.
No.
I really don't. And also perhaps Mega Man. Now, of course, Master Chief would fit in Super Smash Bros. In some way, but hasn't he already appeared in PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale?
Has he?
Or has he? I'm not sure. Oh, no, of course he hasn't. That's PlayStation.
What are you saying?
Correct me, old boy. That was Nathan Drake I was thinking of, who's also an unlikely contender, Mr. Drake. But
Mr. throwing people out there.
I know. I'm very sorry about that, old boy. But Master Chief videos. Anyway, Microsoft's mascot, he is very unlikely. I just can't see Nintendo promoting Microsoft like that.
No, indeed, we don't think so. So Master Chief possibly, maybe you voted for him. Well, we could be wrong. Maybe they'll bring him in, but we think unlikely.
He's a pretty cool guy, as the saying goes, but I don't think he's going to make it into Smash. So, now, in at number 4, this is perhaps a recognisable fellow, isn't it, old boy?
Oh, it is most certainly, yes, indeed, and also from the people who sort of own the same game as the one before, I think now.
Oh.
And that is Steve. Now, who's Steve?
Steve?
Well, Steve from Minecraft.
Oh. Him.
Oh, yes.
That's right, exactly. The world of creepers and blocks fails. Steve wields a pickaxe, a diamond sword, an axe, and many other tools. Fishing rod. There's zombies in the game. He could do so many things for his moveset. I think he'd be a great character in Super Smash Bros. And really would work very well. But, I mean, what chance has he got, old boy?
Well,
really?
Nintendo wants Steve on their platform.
I'd like to see him in Super Smash Bros. But now that Microsoft have bought out Minecraft, he has a very, very low chance indeed, I have to say.
I don't think so. I mean, people have been voting for him, I think, haven't they?
Well, yes, and you have to also bear in mind, of course, that Nintendo did previously promote Mercedes in Mario Kart 8.
Yes.
So, I mean, it's not entirely outside the realms of possibility, but given the current relationship between Nintendo and Microsoft, it's, shall we say, not a very large chance.
Most certainly no, we don't think. So, moving on then to number 3 upon the list.
This is our top 3 fellows, the notorious trio.
Unlike this.
Number 3 being, let's say, if he gets in, it'll be all ogre, old chap. It's, of course, Shrek.
Shrek. Now, I understand that people have indeed voted for Shrek.
They have, and actually, I think perhaps more people have voted for Shrek than perhaps anyone first anticipated. Yes. He is an ogre who lives in the swamp. He's very strong and he's full of one-liners. But the thing is, would a movie character really fit in Super Smash Bros?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, I suppose he's got the potential to be there. He sort of looks like he could be a character in Smash Bros.
Well,
but the thing is, as you say,
has he ever appeared in the game?
I mean, no.
He may have done, possibly. Perhaps some spin-offs from the movie, but first and foremost, he's a movie character. So, really, I don't entirely know whether or not he could make the cut. In fact, I think it's very, very unlikely.
I think it's unlikely that Shrek will be rolling along into the game anytime soon.
I don't think so, frankly, old chap. That's a very, very small chance indeed. So, in at number 2, who do we have there at number 2?
Well, number 2, we think, is unlikely Goku.
Goku. Now, Mr. Goku, that's right. Not only is Goku ludicrously powerful in the show that he appears in, he is a Super Saiyan or something. I don't know how you say that, but all the same, this Goku fellow originates from an anime series. That's right, the orange-clad superhero. He was once a villain, then he turned into a hero. He is extremely powerful, and as I said, he originated on the TV. So once again, we have this problem where perhaps he just wouldn't fit.
Well, it's an interesting point, actually, because we've been talking before about gaming characters from games coming into Super Smash Bros.
Yes.
But very interesting thought there to have characters from TV in Super Smash Bros. Like Batman, for example.
Well, indeed, and other.
I mean, could it happen?
It's not
We
entirely.
think unlikely for Goku, but
Well,
it might happen.
Not outside the realms of possibility, because of course we have seen characters like this in other fighting games. But again, Super Smash Bros. Is supposed to really be about Nintendo's All-Stars mainly. I mean, we have got Sonic and Mega Man and Ryu, and they have been opening up the roster recently. But still, I think Goku, even so, is a bit of a push.
Well, yes.
I just one thing, I can't completely discount him, old chap.
No.
The idea, the possibility is floating on the edges there, but it's really, really unlikely.
It's really unlikely.
So, number one, now I just want you to rest assured, Fails, before we get to number one, this character is from a video game, so don't worry, there's no problem there. However, he is just about the most unlikely thing I could ever think of for Super Smash Bros.
Well,
he is a bear, he is angry, he stuffs people in suits, his name is Freddy Fazbear.
Freddy Fazbear. Now the thing is, you see, now there's been a lot of talk and controversy around Frederick, or Freddy Fazbear, being in the Super Smash Bros. Wii U game.
Yes.
Because, of course, an awful lot of people have indeed voted for Freddy, and they said they want to see Freddy in. And there's an entire army of people that said they want to see Freddy in the game. But equally, there's an entire army of people who have said they do not want to see Freddy in the game.
There's an entire army of people who hate Freddy Fazbear with a loathing passion.
Yes.
I mean, a really angry passion, you know.
Yes, indeed.
So Mr. Fazbear, of course, also his friends Foxy, Bonnie, Chica, etc. and so forth have also been voted for Super Smash Bros. But, I mean, let's face it, what has a horror game about animatronic robots who stalk you in the night got to do with Super Smash Bros., a fighting game to do with Mario? I mean, really, the two worlds couldn't be further apart.
Well, wait a minute, what's a man in a sort of a blue car saying, you know, show me your moves, got to do with that?
Don't speak ill of Captain Falcon.
Well, I'm just thinking out loud, you know.
Really, I'm insulted, I have to say.
But we think, Freddy, we think Freddy is very unlikely. Popular, a lot of people have talked and said we'd like to see him in there.
Yes.
But we think unlikely for Nintendo to include as the number one on this.
Yes, he is perhaps the most unlikely, and yet, ironically, one of the most popular suggestions for inclusion. Do you know who I think has a better chance, old boy?
Who?
Frederick from Fire Emblem. Then you could have 5 Nights at Frederick's.
Oh, yes.
That could be good, old boy.
That was a good joke.
Nights, not as in nighttime, nights like armour and things.
Yes, that was a sharp one.
Thank you, yes.
Well done.
Right, anyway, so, Freddy, here we are, our list of the top 10 most unlikely fighters for the Super Smash Bros. Fighter Ballot and DLC. What do you think, and what's more, do you perhaps wish that some of these fighters could make it into the game?
Well, exactly. What do you think? Were you hoping perhaps some of them could get in? And the thing is, you see, we don't know. I mean, this is the ones we think are least likely, but the thing is, Nintendo could bring something out the bag and say, oh, we're going to include them.
Well, indeed.
One of them. Who knows? Because they've got loads of DLC coming out in the future months. No doubt they want to keep this thing going and stoking over forever, as it were.
Well,
so they've got to find characters to put in, haven't they?
Recently, Mr. Sakurai said that there'd be a number of new DLC characters, but not a huge number. I think he was talking about 5 or so, from what I was saying, and I think we've already seen 1 or 2 of them, so who knows? But as you say, they could just keep these going and going and going. Who knows?
Well, exactly, that's the thing.
I'd like to see Katsuragi from Senran Kagura all by myself, but we'll have to wait and see. Thank you most kindly for listening to the videos, and we look forward to seeing you once more on the next exciting outing, my word.
We do indeed.
Until then.